back to another episode of Full Throttle. You're watching episode 4. I got my co-host with me from the Below the Yellow Line podcast, Joseph and Justin. What is up, guys?
I'm good.
Great to be on.
Thank you. So we got a lot going on this weekend. We got Xfinity. We got the Truck Series going on tonight and the Cup Series on Sunday. And also we have the Supercar Series. So let's jump into it, starting with the Truck Series with Justin. What's going on?
The Truck Series is tonight at Las Vegas, the final race of the round of 8 for the Truck Series. So 2 drivers get eliminated. That so far on the bubble looking out, it is Tyler Ankrum and Johnny Sauter. And tonight, Christian Eckes scores the pole for the race tonight over Ross Chastain and Todd Gilliland. It is going to be, and we've seen interesting qualifying for the Truck Series, but tonight, this is going to be quite interesting with with this truck package at Vegas. It has been interesting, these races at Las Vegas with the Truck Series. Plus, cars we've seen in qualifying snap in turn 4. So turn 4 is going to be really treacherous tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we saw the incidents with Jesse Iwuji and Tyler Hill.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if many of you guys don't know, but we recently just saw a big wreck with Jesse Iwuji. He has been cleared from the medical center. He's okay.
Yep.
We've also seen the same thing with Tyler Hill. He's also okay.
Yep.
But they're gonna have to end up starting at the rear of the field.
Yep. I don't know who DNQ'd because there is 36 trucks. So I think one of them is possibly Tyler Hill because the owner point. So we'll see later who DNQ'd and who made the race. So that's going to be an interesting truck race tonight because we have 32 competitors, and it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, and let's talk about the playoffs for the Truck Series. This is the 3rd race of 3 in the round of 8.
Right.
All drivers are mathematically able to advance or miss out without the need of a win. Meaning guys like Tyler Ankrum, Johnny Sauter can make up 14 points or 2 points in the case of Sauter and make the next round. Only Brett Moffitt secured into the round of 6 with the 2 wins from Motorsport and Bristol.
Yep.
So it's just safe to say, like, even if you're mathematically safe, even if you have a problem tonight, you are not safe whatsoever.
And Ross Chastain's no exception. He may be 28 points above the cut line. However, all it takes is a blow up in lap 1. And it's goodbye 2019.
Yeah. So the Xfinity, well, before we jump into it, for most of the viewers here, if you guys want to catch the Truck Series race, it'll be on tonight on FS1. So let's jump right into the Xfinity Series, with this being the final race before the Xfinity Series playoffs start.
So here's a fun fact. All drivers in the top 12 are eligible to make the Xfinity Series playoffs. If someone outside that top 12 wins the race, then the guy, Ryan Sieg, will pretty much not be secure. I highly doubt that's going to happen. I mean, unless Brandon Brown or someone like Hail Mary, which I highly doubt, especially in the track like Las Vegas, then they're really secure and should be focused on the playoffs. But the Xfinity Series playoffs will get started at Richmond, which is in a week time from now.
Richmond is the second race for the Cup Series, but we'll go into that later, but it will be the first round for the Xfinity Series playoff. So, who do you think has the strongest advantage going into tonight for the playoff series in Xfinity start?
I'm all Reddick, guys.
Yeah, I think Tyler Reddick will carry the momentum into the playoffs because he's been really strong this season. He's been keeping the points lead to himself for most of the season. He's been points leader.
He's on fire.
He is
4
on
wins,
fire.
19 top fives. That's impressive. 19 top fives and 21 top tens. And his DNF from what was that race he DNF'd? It was what was the last race? It was Indy.
Indy. Yeah.
First time he finished outside the top 16 all
That was
year.
unfortunate. Yeah, that was really unfortunate, but he has really been consistent with
Yep.
also him. He's also the defending champion of the Xfinity Series. So
Yep.
he's trying to go back to back here.
Yep.
Yeah, and especially since the controversy happened, a lot of people discredited the title, which it wasn't that bad to do, especially with the luck he found at the very end. But this is like 5 times better, even 10 times better than what we saw in 2018 from Tyler Reddick. And the team switch is helping not just Reddick, but RCR themselves. They have a great future ahead.
Yeah, the Xfinity Series program with RTR is really going good so far. And also another person is Christopher Bell. The guy is also been that's also a person that has been consistent as well.
Yep.
Yeah, very consistent. I think Christopher Bell is going to be the guy to be. He was 9th in practice today, and of course the race is tomorrow from Vegas, and the second time they run there. And I think Christopher Bell might have a strong car. He has 6 wins, 16 top 5, 17 top 10s according to Racing Reference. He has led 1,295 laps, 1,295 laps this season. And that's like 1/4 of the laps completed. This is a fun fact. The laps he's completed this year is 4,092 laps. And so he's basically done more than 1/4 of the laps that he's completed this year in total.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah, that goes to show you that he really wants to be up there when push comes to shove for when the championship race at Homestead, and which, by the way, is very far from right now, but that's where most of the drivers have their sights on.
Yep.
So the Xfinity Series, I think, will be on Saturday.
Yep.
That will also be on NBCSN.
Correct.
Yep.
So now that we have jumped right from the Xfinity Series, let's take a moment and go into the Cup Series. Now, Justin, remember from the Below the Yellow Line podcast, we were talking about Bowman getting eliminated from the first round?
Yeah.
What's your opening statement for that?
For me, I don't think, because he's been better than William Byron, his teammate. Ryan Newman, he's better than Ryan Newman with the average finish.
Right.
And Clint Boyer, I don't know about Clint Boyer if he's going to make it to the next round, because Boyer could do something different in the playoffs, and Almirola maybe do something different. I just don't know. I think he could still make it to the round of 12 like he did last year, but possibly if he could just be consistent in the round of...
Alex Bowman is very consistent. And though he's had some up and down races this year, he's sitting in the 10th seed of the Cup Series playoffs of course, 16 drivers total, and you got to stay above P12 in order to make it the next round of the next 3 races. And let's talk about the playoff schedule for the NASCAR Cup Series real quick.
Right.
3 different tracks for the round of 16. Las Vegas, your traditional 1.5-mile speedway. Then you go to the short track of Richmond and a still newly designed and renovated Charlotte road course, the Roval. We'll round up the first round of the playoffs, which last year brought some controversy and excitement in the edition of last year's Bank of America Roval 400.
Yep.
The round of 12, and we won't talk much about the round of 12 now, but I'll give you a rundown on the rest of the playoffs. So, round of 12, you have Dover, which is a very unique track. It stands out on really like compared to most speedways on the NASCAR schedule. Dover's just a standout circuit with tricky banks and concrete. I think it's concrete pavement, but
Yeah, it
Yes,
is
it's,
concrete pavement.
yeah.
Yes.
And then
yeah,
you go to Talladega, restrictor plate track with pack racing, drafting, just all the uncertainties that
And
Talladega brings
yeah.
to Kansas, which if you watch the race at Vegas on Sunday night, you might see a preview of that Kansas race as well.
you
And then,
know, I also wanted to say that what's his name? Logano. Logano. I
Yeah.
think I think Logano is definitely the one who really pulled it off. But Talladega, Talladega whatsoever is just
Ooh.
utter chaos.
Yep.
Absolute madness
We've seen it last time we went to Talladega
in the
with
spring.
we've had the wreck with 7 laps to go with Chris Buescher and them, but then final lap Kyle Larson flipping over. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
that was
great.
that was very scary.
Yep,
and
it's gonna.
but I
Yes,
want to tell you, the cars were much more maneuverable at Talladega this year with the
yeah,
newer package.
yeah,
They really did a better job on the plate racing this year with the newer package.
yeah, yeah. Because the old package they would just go single file. Like remember last year, all 4 Stewart-Haas cars would pull away from the rest of the pack.
Oh, they were long.
Ugh.
And
So yeah,
everybody was yelling team orders, team orders.
yeah. So with this new package, the pack racing like at restrictor plates has been really good.
You can move around better. I realize
Yeah,
it's like the car doesn't. The car is not as uncomfortable as,
yeah,
as you saw. Like for example, the Daytona 500.
Right.
yeah,
It took a while to pull out of line and then deal with the bad arrow stuff. But that's the round of 12. Let's talk more about the round of 8. And we just briefly go over what to come in the round of 8. You have Martinsville, your traditional short track paperclip,
Right.
Texas,
yeah,
and Phoenix. So basically, Texas, your D-shaped oval, and Phoenix, of course, the ISM, the new ISM with the
yeah.
start finish line on the front stretch.
Oh yeah,
Back stretch, and everything's switched up now. And of course, the final 4 races at Homestead this
yep,
year. But moving back into this round now, the one we have, the round of 16, we start at Las Vegas. Give me 3 drivers that will catch your eye in the playoffs.
For me, I honestly think that the first one would definitely be Logano. You know, he
yeah,
won here in the spring. You know,
yeah,
and he nearly had that win at Indy, and I think he might have. We haven't seen him being consistent yet this season, but we just know he's there. You know,
yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it's crunch time during the playoffs, he will definitely deliver.
yep,
Another driver being Kyle Busch. You know, you seen what happened earlier in the season. He was just on fire. You
yep,
know, he just been dominating. He also another driver that knows when it's time to go, it's time to go in the cup in the playoffs. And another drive and the third driver in my mind would probably have to be Truex Jr. You know,
yeah,
he has 4 races once so far.
yep. He has, and he did really good in 2017 when he won his championship. So that 19, I know he's going to be
And when did
strong.
Martin Truex Jr. begin his 2017 season winning?
Las Vegas.
That's right.
Yep. After passing Brad Keselowski late in the race after Brad had an issue late.
Yeah, and then Kyle and Joey got that
Oh,
late race.
I
So
had
yeah,
that.
that was a pretty dramatic race, compared to Las Vegas. But there are other events from the Vegas that caught my eye. I think 2006 when Jimmy Johnson held off Matt Kenseth by a nose.
Oh my God, that was unbelievable.
Or let's say when Jeff Burton won 2 in a row in 1999 and 2000. And heck, in the Xfinity Series back in the Busch Series 2007, Jeff Burton and Kyle Busch going neck and neck, and Kyle crashing, just trying to get that spot away from the Holiday Inn Chevrolet to finish second sideways to Jeff Burton. That's why racing is fun and interesting. But the Truck Series had some wild races there also. Mike Skinner in the 2008 race beat Eric Darnell by mere inches.
Yeah, he did.
That was another memorable finish right there for sure.
And Nelson Piquet Jr. passing Matt Crafton in turn 1 in 2012. John West Townley pulling the unthinkable in 2015. We've seen it all, guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah, man, for sure.
Well, back to the Cup Series.
Yeah.
3 drivers I have that I'm going to look out for at Las Vegas. It's going to be Brad Keselowski, who I picked to win this race, is Brad Keselowski. Alex Bowman, that 88 car was impressive in mile and a half this year, especially in the Kansas race, and of course the race he won at Chicagoland. Las Vegas shouldn't be any different for that 88 Nationwide Chevrolet. And the other pick, my third pick, will be the 19 to Martin Truex Jr.
Okay.
Who will be your drivers, Justin?
I think for me, Alex Bowman, he's been strong at the mile and a half. Kyle Busch, he's going to be strong at Las Vegas. He's won there before. He's been really good at Vegas, so Kyle Busch is going to be part of that. And Joey Logano. Logano won last time we were there. He's good on the mile and a half, so I feel like Logano, Bowman, and Kyle Busch will be strong at Las Vegas.
You really think Bowman will be strong at break? Well, if you look at what happened in Kansas, he was able to make it work.
Yeah.
Keselowski, on the other hand,
had better.
He finished second earlier this season.
Yep.
But Brad's also a 3-time winner at LVMS. So
and if he can get 4 wins, he will tie Johnson.
And speaking of wins at Las Vegas, the most wins I think it's Jimmy Johnson. Johnson has
he has 4 wins there, yeah.
Oh my God.
Just looking for the Cup Series stats. Yeah, Johnson has 4. And then Brad Keselowski has 3. He's tied with Matt Kenseth. Jeff Burton 2. Carl Edwards and Kevin Harvick have 2 wins as well. And of course, the first race was 1998, 21 years ago, won by Arkansas native Mark Martin.
Yes.
Yep.
And speaking of Mark Martin, Jack Roush is still the winningest team at Las Vegas with 7 wins compared to Rick Hendrick, 5, Penske 4, and then 3 for Stewart Haas, 2 with Gibbs. And, Ford hit the jackpot all the time at Vegas because they have 12 wins combined.
Yeah. So, we definitely have to see what happens there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I know Vegas is going to be quite interesting. Last year was interesting at Las Vegas. People say, oh, Vegas, boring. Like the spring. Well, last year the spring race was not like the fall race. The second Vegas race was more crashes than racing. So Vegas is going to be really interesting.
What about nighttime temperatures?
Oh, nighttime. That's going to be really different. Because,
that's definitely a factor.
Yep. Because
during the day, it's like super hot and super slick.
Yeah.
And during the nighttime, it's way more cooler and you have way more grip and you could go way more faster.
I just realized the Cup Series and Xfinity has never raced at night at Vegas. Only the Truck Series, Xfinity and Cup, they never raced in the nighttime at
Vegas.
Vegas.
The Xfinity Series has in the past, but that's because of weather delays.
Yeah, but
the 2006 Busch Series race, I believe Casey Kane won driving for Ray Evernham in the Dodge car.
Yep, like you're gonna see how Vegas is gonna play out with the nighttime racing for the. You're gonna see like we've seen the Truck Series at night at Vegas, typical
I have a
normal.
question. Is the night race ideal for Las Vegas? I mean, especially because we're talking about just viewership ratings. Like just viewership wise, everyone is going to be tuning into Sunday Night Football.
Oh yeah, that's on NBC. I forgot about
Yeah,
Sunday
night.
Well,
in this time of year is a tough conflict.
well,
Pastor Maldonado wins 10 in a row.
Armani's
Get in here. Get in
Armani.
here, Armani. Come on.
What the heck?
Get in here, man. Come on.
I don't know what he's doing because he said that
he said that he will be able to come on before the show started, but
I guess
that's not happening.
I guess that me and Armani, I guess Armani wanted to play NASCAR Heat 4 after this, I guess.
That's
NASCAR Heat 4.
Yep.
Release like fine, you know?
Yep. Like about like that, it's like I don't like about Sunday Night Football. I know there's gonna be football fans tuning into football. I know I'm gonna be watching back and forth, switching from football to NASCAR during commercials. That's what I always do. So yeah, so I think that I don't know how big the viewership is gonna drop. At least Richmond, it does not get affected from Sunday Night Football because that race is on a Saturday. But I don't know how Sunday Night Football is going to get more views, and I don't know.
Yeah, man. So, who is one person? Who are your drivers that you have winning in the Cup Series in Vegas?
Oof. Let me go check my picks. Let me go check my pick. And I put it in Twitter earlier today.
Right. Yeah, make sure you guys follow us on the World Racing Media Group on Twitter, and also also on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to your channel on YouTube.
I found it. Alex Bowman's my Cup pick.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of the other races now that we got the cover. We have supercars racing at the Pukekohe Park Circuit in Auckland for their trip to New Zealand.
Yep.
On week 11 of the season, rounds 23 and 24. Last year's victors, Shane Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin. Scott is on a tear, guys. No question about it. This guy's just
the guy
this year of most wins.
The guy is on fire, man. He really is. After what happened last year, he's just been on a roll. You know, he's just like, you know what? Nobody's competing with me this year. No one.
Yeah.
And he's just been on fire this year, man.
Yeah, the 26-year-old from Christchurch is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a sensational driver, and he's on a tear. We've seen Win Cup do this for years, where he goes and just wins all the races and never looks back. But Scott McLaughlin and Ford, hold my beer.
They literally have been saying, hold my beer, for sure.
16 wins, 18 podiums. And is what's even more impressive is his average start and average finish is 1.8 and 1.9. And we talk about how good average finishes of 6 point whatever is, or even 7.2, like he had in 20.
Yeah.
But 1.9, you can't even script that.
Yeah.
I know, right? That's just like, whoa. We're on a different level here.
Yeah, Scott McLaughlin, he is really doing good in supercars this season. He is really doing good in that 17 car.
So here's a record. The most record for wins here at Auckland Super Sprint is Greg Murphy. Now, mind you, one of the races was under the Australian Touring Car Championship. in
Right.
1996. So that doesn't really count. Even though I put 4 in parentheses, even though the 5 total, it's still record holding for Greg Murphy. And then the other 2 drivers with multiple wins.
Oh, here's Armani.
Right.
What? Now sunglasses are upside down. Oh my goodness.
Here's Armani. What's up, man?
Ola.
Wearing the hat of shame, I see.
You can shut your mouth, though,
Hey.
right?
Well,
You know what? It's
Hey.
fine. It's fine. I'm not
What
even
the-
mad anymore because I saw this happening.
oh, not.
I was gonna go like this. This is how I'm gonna be for the rest of the show.
Oh man. But I was just talking about Lachlan just dominating this year, man. He's just been relentless.
Yep.
And also the IndyCar series. The IndyCar series is it this next weekend at
Yeah.
Laguna
Laguna
Seca?
Seca does have a sports car
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
championship on Sunday afternoon.
Yep. That's gonna be really interesting.
That's gonna be very interesting to see.
Round 11 of 12, so there's 2 more races left, and of course the last race of the championship is the 10-hour Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta. That's for October, but for now, all 4 classes will race. And here's
Yep.
some fun facts here. Of course, the first race was won 1957 with a Ferrari 500R. Last year was won by the Tequila Patron. He's on DPI by Van Overbeek and Pivo Derani.
Yeah. Now that.
In fact, Audi R8 killed it at Laguna Seca, winning 5 in a row
Holy.
in the 2000. And the Audi R10 won 3 straight from 06 to 08. So if you had the 4 rings, you are on the podium. Does that mean magic for GTD drivers in that class? Or is that team from Canada, Pfaff Motorsports, going to bring their Porsches to their prime like they've done earlier this year?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting race at Laguna Seca because there is all 4 classes with still 2 LMP2s like normal.
They're close in the battle. The 2 LMP2s are like neck and neck in this title.
Yeah, the 52 and the 38. You have you have all the you have 8 GTLM cars. You have how many DPIs are there even?
Your usual amount, but I think for DPIs, Juan Montoya and I think Cameron will win. You usually get like 10, 12 DPIs in the race.
Yeah.
On
10
that basis.
10. I was counting all the DPI cars. So yeah, there's 10 DPIs.
When was the last time they raced?
The DPIs?
Yeah.
Was before VIR. Oh, Road America.
The Road America.
Hello,
that's
computer.
right.
Yeah, it was Road America when they last raced. Because of last race was just the GT Challenge race, and then so yeah. This is the first time since the LMPs are going to be on the DPI and the LMP2 class since Road America. They're going to be on track for the first time since Road America this weekend.
That's right, people.
Yep. And
Right.
tune into that race on NBC. Yes, regular NBC is going to air IMSA.
In the midst of the Dolphins-Patriots game, but after last week, the Miami Dolphins, I think we have...
The Dolphins are a joke.
Oh yeah, they are absolutely.
Maybe I shouldn't speak too soon after what happened last year against the Patriots.
No, they're a joke. They're clowns.
Hey, the Carolina Panthers, they choked too, so they're worse too.
That's true. This isn't an NFL show.
Yeah. Let's just get back into the race.
But speaking of the NFL, I said earlier in Full Throttle today that having the race on in the nighttime in conflict with football is not the most ideal situation. But it's what we got, and at least with Vegas, there's some good knowledge that it's probably not going to rain.
I hope not. If there's rain,
everything I said in this podcast is a farce.
Yeah, that is definitely not the way we want to go.
Hey, wait, we've had rain at Phoenix 2015 in the deserts. So
nonstop.
Yeah, I remember that
And
raid.
Kamikaze Games called it the Rain 500.
I remember that.
Junior won the race, therefore I'm okay with it.
I was happy, and Logano said to race still when it was downpouring. He said, "Let us freaking race," and then Dale
I
Jr.
remember they were behind the safety car for like 5 laps trying to get the race screen. The lights kept going off, and then they gave up.
And Dale Jr. said, "It gets wet when it rains because it was getting wet. It's supposed to be 100 tomorrow and Sunday with sunny, so no rain in the forecast."
All right, so let's talk about the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship with the 11 of 12 races completed now. In the DPI class, 239 points is the leading car, the number 6 Acura DPI, which is for Team Penske. Team Penske, of course, with the points lead, 7 points ahead of the 31 Whelen Cadillac.
Oh, yeah, that Whelen
And then
Cadillac.
the Mazda 55 third.
Yep.
The Acura 7 Penske fourth. They're actually tied. And then the 77 Mazda is in fifth. And by the way, Mazda on a tear. They've won the last 3 races.
Yep, they're really doing better compared to like the 10 Cadillac that started off good. They got first at Daytona, second at Sebring, and then that's where they started declining right after that.
It's not that bad. They finished 8th, 6th, twice, actually 3 times other than the 10th.
8,
Wait, I'm reading it off, actually, the wrong guy. Yeah, no, it's 9th, 4th, 6th, and 5th. So
they couldn't, like, I would like them to get a podium at least, but they couldn't.
Here's the thing. I don't know if they're better off in the longer traditional endurance length races like Daytona and Sebring where they got 2 podiums.
Well,
but the shorter sprint races, I don't see their strengths.
They were in 2017 where they won 5 in a row, I think. They won a lot of races in a row in 20. They won a lot.
That team has really been dominant. So that's definitely something to watch for.
All right, let's talk about the LMP2 class. 5 points separate the 52 PR1 over the 38 Performance Tech.
Yep.
And they're the only 2 cars actually racing in the class besides the 24-hour race when Dragon Speed brought out 2 entries and one with the 18 car. The full-time LMP2 entrants, because of regulation changes last year, which separated the prototype class into 2 counterparts, DPI and LMP2, they only have the 52 car and the 38. And it's still a close battle, despite the times that they finish laps apart.
Yeah.
Road America, I think, was the first race where they didn't finish numerous laps apart.
Yeah, they finished on the same lap. They finished close to each other, so yeah. And those two cars are going to be competitive.
It should be up for grabs later, guys. But let's talk about the GT classes now. Porsche on a tear. 13 points separate the 2 Porsches, 912 over 911. Which, if you know their driver lineups, the Porsche GT team have all the guys that you want on their squad. Take for example, Patrick Pilet, Freddie Makovicki, Nick Tandy. I'm missing. I think Richard Leitz.
Yeah, he's sometimes in the races.
But they don't just race in IMSA. They go all around the world in WC and GT3 competitions all around the world, like BluntCon and Intercontinental and the ELMS.
Yeah.
So they may not, of course, and that's another thing about IMSA racing too. The drivers may have weeks off, or like the racing might have weeks and gaps between, but the drivers are active as much as possible on a weekly basis. But if you look at the GTLM standings, the Porsches are 1 and 2, and then way back in third is the number 3 Corvette, which is bringing the team upwards a little bit. They've been struggling the last year and a half. And then, of course, Ganassi 4th and 5th, 67 and 66. And by the way, this is their final year.
Yeah.
The this being their final year, what can we expect from them?
They finished on top.
Wow, I guess that really does it, you know. All right, I guess that
Talk about
we
Daytona for a moment.
we can talk about that.
Yeah, because just the last class of the four. Meyershank Racing set sail in the points lead. Now they're walking away. They have 241 points compared to 204 points in second place with FAF Motorsports Porsche, which they have won 2 of the last 3 races, and they're on a tear. Turner Motorsport BMW third, Lexus number 12 fourth, and Magnus Racing Lamborghini is fifth.
Yep.
Yeah, man, those guys are really have led it. I need to make some market and spending. All right.
So there's that.
Yep.
All right. I guess that covers everything.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I guess that wraps up another episode of Full Throttle. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You guys want to shout out your handles?
Sure. Go follow my Twitter at YTNASCAR. Follow my Instagram at JustinNeberry88. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, NASCAR88.
And follow my Twitter at JLP Snipes.
Make sure you guys follow my Twitter at Lobus Danny and subscribe to my channel, Danny Girl 48. Make sure you subscribe to the World Racing Media channel. So follow my boy Armani, aka you see his handle right here.
Yep.
And I
I'm
guess
playing
covers
NASCAR
it.
Heat 4. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out your handle, buddy.
It says it right there. But anyway, follow me on Twitter, Velocity WRM, Instagram, Velocity WRM, and yeah.
All right. That covers another episode of Full Throttle. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the World Racing Media podcast. I catch you guys on the flip side. Remember, life's too short, so go full throttle.
Yep.